The roar of a sports car engine echoes as a convoy of luxury vehicles pulls up to a breathtaking mansion overlooking the Atlantic. Inside, the air is thick with laughter and the clinking of champagne glasses. The chandelier sparkles above a sea of Lagos's elites, politicians, celebrities, and business tycoons, all gathered to celebrate wealth and power. Michael Anyanwu, dressed in a custom-tailored suit, stands at the heart of it all. With a confident smile, he raises his glass, basking in the admiration around him. A waiter approaches with an expensive bottle of wine, vintage, imported, rare. Michael takes a sip, leans back, and watches as money rains down onto the dance floor, tossed playfully by guests who have more than they can ever spend. This was the life, he says, his voice smooth but laced with an arrogance he doesn't yet recognize. A world where money could buy anything, respect, loyalty, even love, or so I thought. Just then his gaze shifts. Across the room a woman steps in, elegant, poised, dangerously beautiful. Vanessa. She watches him with an unreadable smile. A high-end restaurant. The setting is intimate, soft jazz playing in the background. Vanessa sits elegantly, twirling the stem of her wineglass between her fingers. The dim lighting catches the sparkle in her eyes as she locks her gaze onto Michael, a knowing smile playing on her lips. Resting his elbows on the table, Michael said, "When you have everything, you start believing you're untouchable, that nothing and no one can take you down." Vanessa was different, or so I thought. She strokes his hand gently, her eyes filled with warmth. "Baby, I love you for you, not for your money." Michael chuckled, squeezing her fingers. "That's why I can't stop spoiling you, my love." Michael buys her expensive jewelry, drapes her in designer outfits, and whisks her away on private vacations. At a grand gala, she leans in, whispering sweetly into his ear as he signs business deals without reading them. Tony, his longtime friend, watches from across the room. Later he pulls Michael aside, shaking his head. "Michael, think with your head, not your heart. She's not who you think she is." Michael scoffed, shaking his head. "Tony, you worry too much. I know what I'm doing." Vanessa now lives in Michael's mansion. She hosts extravagant parties. She introduces him to investment opportunities. She tells him she wants to help expand his empire, and he believes her. One night on a private yacht, she rests her head on his chest. "I want us to build a legacy together, baby, something no one can ever take from us." Michael smiled, stroking her hair. "We already have that." Leaning back, he sighed. "I was so sure I had found the one. But love can be a dangerous illusion." The next day, Michael went to the bank. His account officer slides a document across the table. Michael scans the papers. His confident expression turns to confusion, then panic. His account officer's voice is a bit cold. "Your accounts are in the red. The investments failed. You now owe billions." Michael's hands trembled slightly. He then responded, "That's impossible. My business is solid." The official exhaled and tapped her pen against the desk. "Sir, the contracts you signed, Vanessa and her people transferred your assets to offshore accounts." Michael swallowed hard, feeling a sinking sensation in his stomach. It hit me like a thunderclap. The woman I loved had stripped me of everything, and I handed it to her with a smile. Michael rushes home only to find the mansion empty. The luxury furniture is gone. He dials Vanessa's number. "The number you are trying to call is no longer in service." News headlines flash across the screen. Business mogul Michael Anyanwu declares bankruptcy. Michael, now in a simple shirt and trousers, stands outside his foreclosed mansion. Movers take out his belongings. Tony watches from a distance, shaking his head. "You should have listened, brother." Michael doesn't respond. His eyes remain fixed on the movers. His voice is hollow. "I lost everything, even myself." Shaking his head slightly, he muttered, "A man who once owned the world, now owned nothing." A noisy Lagos street. Honking. Chaos. Michael, now a taxi driver, weaves through traffic. His hands grip the worn-out steering wheel. A passenger enters, staring at him. "Are you Michael Anyanwu, the billionaire?" Michael forced a small smile. "Used to be." Chuckling bitterly, he said, "Once I had a fleet of cars. Now I drive strangers for a living. The irony isn't lost on me. Nightfall. Michael parks near a roadside food stall. A young man nervously counts coins, struggling to pay for a meal. The vendor shakes his head. "Oga, this money no reach." The young man sighs, defeated. Michael watches, then quietly places some cash on the table. Without a word, he turns and walks away. Taking a deep breath, he said, "True wealth isn't in what we own, but in what we give, and in learning to rise again no matter how hard we fall." The young man stares at Michael's retreating figure. A flicker of hope crosses his face. As Michael walks back to his taxi, the young man calls out, "God bless you, sir." Michael doesn't turn back. He just nods, a small, knowing smile touching his lips. Michael sits on a bench looking at the city lights. His tone is calm but firm. "If life has taught me one thing, it's this. Never place your entire trust in money, because it can vanish overnight. Never place your entire trust in people, because not all love is real. But always place your trust in resilience, because no matter how hard you fall, you can always rise again." No matter how far you fall, you can always rise again. Did you enjoy this story? Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more inspiring stories.